And I can't tolerate any more of seeing women hurting themselves mentally, emotionally, and physically trying to lose weight in unhealthy and unsustainable ways when the answer was there fucking all along. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. The answer, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, answer, we don't speak like that in Australia. The answer has always been there. I feel like I need to take a breath because I'm pretty sure there's a smackdown coming. But here's where we're going to kick it off. You have wasted so much time, so much fucking time in your life looking for a shortcut to the weight loss that you want to get. Now, I get, right? I'm not an idiot. I get it as emotional eaters. Weight loss is extra challenging for us because a normal regular person can just be like, yeah, I'm going to track my macros and do my shit and it's all good. Like, they don't dive face first into a chocolate cake or pizza when they've had a bad day. They don't. They probably drink. But for us foodies, we eat. That's just what we do and that's how we're wired. And I don't know that ever really goes away. I mean, I'm 30 years in now. I certainly don't feel the desire to bury myself in food if I've had a bad day. It's not like that, but I will still have the desire to go, fuck it, I'm just gonna at least have some chocolate, like at least. And I don't think that's abnormal, but here's what I want you to understand. If you had just done what you know you were supposed to do from the start, you wouldn't be in this position now. I'm just saying it like it is. You wouldn't be in this fucking position now. What is the position? I'll tell you what fucking position you're in. I don't even need to know you. I don't need to call you up and tell you. And ask you. I know what position you're in. You feel like shit. You're slightly disappointed. You are a little befuddled as to how it could have possibly reached October and you didn't lose the weight that you said you wanted to lose. How did this happen? Can I make it better next year? And then there's also that little voice of reason in the back of your head, like, well, really, what's going to change next year? But we start blocking that out. Here we go, October, November, the parties start for the end of the year. And you switch over into party mode and think, this weight issue, that's a problem for tomorrow, Kylie. Well, like, really, seriously, that's a problem for not even tomorrow, Kylie. That is a problem for January, Kylie. All I want to say to you, honey, is don't fucking delude yourself anymore. You are doing yourself a massive disservice, massive, by not taking responsibility for the decisions that you've made thus far. The decisions that you've made up to this point have obviously gotten you where you are now. And where is that? As we said, in a place where you're not entirely happy and a little befuddled as to how you even ended up here because you had such fucking high intentions at the beginning of the year. What do you think is going to be different between January that went in 2023 and fucking Jan 2024? What's going to change? Have you changed? Because if you haven't changed mentally and emotionally, then the physical cannot change. Won't and can't. And I will just put it out there. You can't. I mean, listen, I'll say to you, prove me wrong, sis, prove me wrong. You can shed a couple of kilos. Like I always say, any dickhead can drop some weight. But if you haven't changed who you are mentally and emotionally, you won't keep it off. You won't. I'll see you here in February as you start panicking because it's coming back on February, March, April, and then in June, you'll be like, oh, Kylie, I really need some help. Right? Of course you fucking need help because you didn't address the problem where it lies. Number one issue that we are all facing is we are so pleasure driven that it's to our own detriment. You just want to be happy and feel good all the time, but it's costing you. It's costing you. You think, I just want to feel good right now. I've had a hard day. My partner's an idiot. Like, the kids are giving me such a hard time. My job sucks. Whatever bullshit story you're buying into, because who's telling you that story? Who? You are. So you're listening to your own bullshit, you're believing your own bullshit, and then you're making decisions based on bullshit and wondering why you don't like the results that you get. Please, show me how it could be any different. I just did I filmed a quick bit of content earlier today on emotional eating and portion control. You know, you can buy like fun size little Mars bars and Snickers and fun size like koala bear, like all the things, right? Fun size. You buy the little portion control. You can get portion control packets of chips and all the, they don't call it portion control. They call it fun size, but we all know it's portion control. But here's why it doesn't work for emotional eaters. You can buy all the fun size shit in the world. It's not fun when you eat the whole packet, like the whole bag of the stuff. It's not fun then when you've eaten 12 fun size packets. It's not fun because then you feel like such shit that you start scrambling through your pantry and your fridge for anything else that's left because you feel, honestly, take a minute, you feel deep inside like you're hopeless and you are a loser and this is never going to work and you can't be trusted around food. You're just OOC. And the only way to sort of have some sense of damage control is to eat all the food, because we're not morons, we don't throw it out. Like, we feel that we will just eat all the food now and then we'll be out the house and I will be unhindered tomorrow to be able to pursue this dream lifestyle that I just want so badly. First of all, that is called horizon thinking. Horizon thinking is where you are fucking dumb enough to think that there is a better version of you that's going to show up tomorrow. If you could see my face, if you're not watching this on YouTube and you're just listening to the podcast, if you could see my face, it's just a face of what the fuck? What the fuck, sis? Why do you think, if you haven't made done any mental or emotional work today, how? Please tell me how a better version of you is going to show up tomorrow. She's not. Horizon version of you is the same fucking version of you as is here today. And she's going to make the same dumb, stupid decisions around food because she hasn't done anything to change her mindset around herself, her body, and her capability to make decisions. If you're not willing to make any sacrifices to your immediate pleasure, then you will always be searching for it long term. What I mean by that is, if you're not willing to sacrifice any pleasure in the short term, you will not gain it long term. You'll be searching for it forever. And here's the other important thing to understand. What I used to call the voice all up in your head. You know the voice? We've all got the voice. The voice is the one that's like, when you come home absolutely shit tired, the voice is the one that's like, you should just order pizza, get takeaway. I know you were going to cook that lasagna tonight, but don't do it. It's too much work. That's the fucking voice. And the voice is the same one that after he convinces you that to eat everything in the household and in the pantry because that's the best idea you've ever had, it's the same voice that comes in and goes, I can't believe what a fucking dumbass you are. You are a loser piece of shit. You should just go and eat everything now and then go to the servo and buy more because it's too late now. The shops have closed. And like, if you live in my suburb, the local, Quickie Mart closes at 10 p.m. at night. This is Adelaide for you, right? It closes at 10 o'clock at night. I could go to the servo, but then I'm going to have to get in the car and drive and I can't be fucked. So now, listen, I've worked with clients who have Uber eated food to their house when they're wanting to have a binge and everything else is closed. This is why I say, you can tell yourself, I'm going to portion control. I'm going to keep the food out the house. I'm going to make sure that there's nothing around. I'm going to tell everyone not to give me anything, but you find a way. If you want it bad enough, you will weasel your way around and you will find a way to get that food. Why? Because you didn't work on the mental barriers that are causing this shit ass behavior and decision-making process to start with. I know you think that you want all the pleasure and you want it all right now, but do you know where the pleasure actually comes from? Nothing short term, really. Think about it. All the little wins that you've had that have just been like a blip on the radar, are they still seeing you through today? Are you still riding high on the euphoria of the happiness of the chocolate bar and the 15 chocolate bars that you ate 2 weeks ago? Because if the answer is no, and I'm going to say unless you're fucking delusional, of course the answer is no. Listen, it's not a thing. You know it's not a thing. I don't even need to fucking try and explain that bullshit because that is not a thing. You can't eat so much chocolate and pleasure tonight, because that's me, that's my kryptonite, chocolate, that you're going to be able to live off of that happiness and you're never going to want it again for the rest of your life. That's also not a thing. What will happen is tomorrow night, you're going to want the chocolate just as bad as you do right now. Just as bad. Which is why I say to you, if you are not willing to sacrifice some pleasure now, in the short term, you will never, ever, ever, ever have it long term. You know where long-term pleasure comes from? I don't think this is a Googleable thing. I'm just telling you, in my experience and with everyone I've ever worked with, long-term pleasure doesn't come from the chocolate bar you ate last night, like we said. Long-term pleasure doesn't come from the 15 pizzas that you ate 2 weeks ago. Long-term pleasure comes from the sacrifices you make today to create a better you tomorrow. How does that cause you long-term pleasure? Because you end up with such a sense of pride, confidence, self-accomplishment, energy, enthusiasm, and self-belief that you are riding high now on your own wins in life. You don't need the chocolate, the pizza, the Uber Eats at 2 a.m. anymore. You don't need it anymore because you now are so euphoric really on what you have conquered within yourself that there is fucking nothing out there that's worth sacrificing that for. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to know more about my personal blueprint that I use to overcome emotional eating, the 5 eating codes, how I can help you accomplish what I've been able to accomplish, which is massive. I mean, I've lost 20 kilos more times than I can count. I'm currently in the process of losing 15, which I gained from the marina. So that's halfway done. That's happened this year and that's halfway done. And I'm happy about it. And also, I will never, ever sacrifice my internal peace for a chocolate bar again. I'll fucking tell you that right now. So if you want my help, please do go ahead, leave a comment below, visit me over at kyliepax.com. You can find me under the program section, honey. I'm all over the place. You can't miss me, but hit me up on my website, join one of my programs, find the one that is the right fit for you, and let's start shaking shit up. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. I will see you again next week. Until then, gorgeous ones, bye for now.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com and sign up for one of my programs so you can start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources in my past podcasts that will help you lose the weight without all the BS drama. I will see you next week.